Right, so this is my first recording for the year 2025-2026. So this is last year's Edexcel Chemistry Paper 1. Now if you're using this as a revision, please take note this is the RC version, that means it's the original version. Don't take the other copy which is just sent up. Okay, so question 1 is really easy, 6 marks, and I'm going to dive into it. It is on change in state as well as kinetic particle theory. So that's essentially the first chapter that you're learning in chemistry. So 6 markers here, and very nicely they have given us the names of the change in state. So for change in state, we always have solid, liquid and gas. You do need to know the conversion between them. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one. It would be from liquid to solid, and for liquid to solid we are looking at this arrow over here. So liquid converting back to solid, essentially it's exothermic reaction. Okay, so this is freezing. Most students would be able to get this quite easily. Then next we have liquid to gas. So that would be, I'm just going to use this one. Take away this, using this as an example. We are looking at liquid to gas, so this would be this to here. So in the box, we only have 5 names. Okay, so evaporation will fit into this. If it's not, if there is no helping words given to us, then what is the other possibility here? Is we actually also can have boiling as a potential answer. Okay, so from liquid to gas, we have evaporation and boiling, but because boiling is not a given, it will not be counted as an answer here. Okay, so if it's not provided, if the helping words are not provided, you can actually use the word boiling. Next, the fun one here is actually from solid to gas. So this would be from this all the way to this. Okay, so this arrow over here, that's our sublimation. Now, what are some of the common things that undergo sublimation that I think you should know and you should try it in school? This would be our iodine. I really like to do this experiment because it's really colorful. So iodine in the solid state is actually grey in color, but once it turns to gas, okay, this would be a nice deep violet, purple, beautiful color. It always reminds me of Harry Potter. Don't know why, because maybe it's some like shiny violet look. It just looks really nice here. Okay, and then we have 3 markers here. That's like half the mark for this question. See, this question is only 6 marks, but this described question alone, okay, is 3 marks. Now, why is it 3 marks? Because you need to first talk about movement, energy, as well as arrangement of gas. Okay, so we're focusing on gases and the arrangement, the movement, and the energy in them. Okay, so how do you score these marks here? So in order for you to score, first you might want to break it down. Easier for you to make sure you don't miss out the points here, because they want you to talk about arrangement, so you highlight arrangement. The arrangement in gas is irregular and they are far apart. Okay, far apart is essentially a type of spacing between the particles. So if you were to ask to draw gases, okay, you'll want to draw them far away, not touching one another, and are random. If you were to draw gases like this, like looking like Lego box or block, okay, you actually won't get any marks because it's too neat. Okay, so make sure the arrangement is irregular and it's far apart. So that's the key word. Out of that too, you actually will get 2 marks really. Next, you're going to look into movement. How does gas particle move? The movement is always random. You cannot predict the movements and the direction of which it moves, and the energy is very high. So on the opposite spectrum of gas, okay, gas is on the opposite spectrum, really high in energy, we have solid. Now solid, let's just take a moment to recap solid. Okay, so solid arrangement. What are the keywords for solid arrangement? Is orderly and closely packed. Okay, so if you were to be given an opportunity to draw, then what you want to do is you want to make sure that the particles are touching one another, closely, orderly packed. And one thing about drawing here is you should draw at least 3 rows, occupying at least 3/4 of the box if possible. I would say I've got too much space over here. Okay, too much space. You should make sure that the solids particles are really touching. If I were to be given another chance to redraw again, what I would do is I'll draw my particle really, really big. like there's no chance of penalization here. Okay, and try not to do things like that, like half a circle here. Okay, this is a bad example. Okay, so stick to big round circle of the same size and touching one another for solid. Okay, when it comes to movement of solid, do you remember? It will actually be just vibration. This is a low energy, so in terms of energy, it is really low. So when it comes to energy of solid, it is slow, the movement, they only vibrate, and the arrangement will be orderly, closely packed. Okay, so that will be our first 6 marks question. Do you have any question for me? Right? If not, we are going to deep dive into my aim today is to deep dive and do our video and complete all the video for this entire paper 1. That's 11 questions altogether. Right, see you on the other side.